Hi there, I'm Talontrotnian, and this is my submission for Splatoon 2 Hero Mode any percent to AGDQ 2022. This is actually my second time that I have to record this because originally I had a run where my PB was from April and I did a submission, or I tried to record a submission off of that, but I started running this category again last week and I PB'd yesterday, so I wanted to go over this run instead, because this run is just way better in every term. There's still like some really bad mistakes, and I imagine I'm going to PB again in a few days, because that is just how progression works for me sometimes when I'm just like really on fire trying to learn stuff, because that's how I feel with this right now. But what's with Splatoon 2 Hero Mode 90%? What's up with that category? So in this category, we're beating Octo Canyon in Splatoon 2 off of a fresh file as fast as we can. So we're not going to be able to get that many upgrades. There are some things that we want to get no matter what, like curling bombs and the level 2 hero shot we want to make sure to get. But it's not like NG Plus where we have like all these upgrades and whatnot. It's more just like a fresh file, fresh weapons, like everything that the game would intend for you in the first place, and seeing how fast you can go. This category is definitely a lot different from Splatoon 1. I'm not saying better, I'm not saying worse. It's different because there's a lot more weapon variety and options with movement. But it's Splatoon 2, therefore you've got the increased motion delay, so I think the movement overall is a bit clunkier despite having a better controller. So it is what it is. First things first, though, we have to deal with all of this news. Sadly, you have to go through this news every time in 90%, and it is long and unskippable. So all we can do right now is mash. You don't really get to start playing the game until about 4 minutes in. A little before that. Until then, this is just like, yeah, this is the time where I would explain, like, here's what this category is, people commentating with me, yada yada yada. Welcome to Splatoon 2. This category is great. It's just, it's no Splat 1 any percent, you know? Like, it's good, but Splat 1 any percent is just like, ooh, that's the category. That's the songs. Yeah. But we enter Octo Canyon here, and if you think we were done with texts right there, no, Marie is going to be here and talk to us even more. Because you thought we were done with just simply the news. That's just not the case. Just like, oh, why did your frames drop there? That wasn't the capture card. That was me downloading the stream mod for this because I don't feel like it's a satisfying PB yet. And that's just what happens when you're running a lot of things and you're doing a stream and whatnot. Whatever. Here's the first weapon to get. It's the level 1 hero shot. The level 1 hero shot, it's like a 52-gallon fire rate, which is like overall pretty slow. But the thing about the level 1 hero shot is that it can't ink to save itself. This thing does not put a lot of ink on the ground. It is overall an absolutely terrible weapon to play with. And we have to play the whole first world with this thing. It's just like, why? This is probably like one of the most frustrating weapons ever. It's so annoying. But we're starting out in level 2. Noticing that all these orange orbs that we're collecting, the orange orbs, those are called power eggs. We're going to need to collect 500 of them to start, and we'll be getting 500 pretty late in World 2. That's gonna get us curling bombs, and at the end of the game, we'll need another 800 to buy the level 2 hero shot, which is basically this weapon but faster, and that's gonna be required for Octavio at the end of the game. If we could get it earlier, we could, but it's a lot of power eggs. And the curling bombs are far more important because they're going to be great for moving forward. But the basic mechanics of Splatoon is just like putting ink on the ground, going in your own ink, covering up enemy ink. You have, you know, the hero shot, but we also have the splat bomb sub weapon, which is great for distracting enemies and breaking like objects, boxes, whatever, inking up sponges. It's a lot of different utility with the splat bomb right now. And since we don't have burst bombs in this game, splat bombs have to cover us a lot more. Another thing about the level 1 hero shot, it's got like a massive spread to it. So it's not the most accurate thing ever, that's for sure. But it is what it is. You just gotta deal with this. We're now gonna head over to level 3. Think about level 3. This is kind of a grind rail stage. Grind rails are going to be most interesting with the later weapon that we're getting. They're kind of annoying to do now, but we're gonna be doing something called a nollie jump to get better movement with it. If you're holding out a sub weapon or shooting your gun and you go back into squid form and jump off of a rail, you actually get extra heightened speed as you do it, and that can be useful for crossing certain gaps. And any percent, that's going to be useful in a ton of different places. Using the splat bomb as effectively as we can just to try to get paths forward. It's kind of the main thing with the start of any percent. Your hero shot's so bad that you want to be using the splat bomb as much as possible. How did I get caught in ink there? Oh my god. Now you gotta get a 116 here instead of a 114. Oh, this kid's washed actually, because this is a global cycle stage with this ink sticks at the end. You're trying to make a cycle. It's not gonna work out so well now. Get us to the Zapfish at the end. You collect the Zapfish. It finishes the stage. Let's go, dude. And then, next up, level 1. It's like, oh, you're doing level 1/3. It's just like, yeah, routing's gotta be a little weird to get to the boss. It is what it is, okay. Thing about level 1. At least in this game, level 1's actually pretty simplistic in any percent. In any percent, there's like no real tricks here. There's not much you can do to speed this up. It's trying to like optimize movement when you throw bombs and whatnot. Like, at least in Splatoon 1, it was a target test. In Splatoon 2, it's just like, you're throwing bombs and taking out enemies in straight lines. It's kind of simpled. Dumbed down. Made easier. Except the whole time you're using a more frustrating weapon, because the level 1 hero shot is an absolute disaster. The weapons get better, okay? The level 1 hero shot is kind of the outlier. And of course, it's the thing they start us off with. Great first impression, guys. Thank you. Yeah, the bombs, the splat bomb distracts enemies. It grabs their attention, so you can use that to turn a shielded enemy around and deal shots behind it. We're also picking up a lot of armors and specials right now because when you finish a level with an armor or a special on you, it'll give you 10 extra power eggs, and that's going to be useful for our routing. And that gets us through level 1. Nice! How was that a 147? That looked like it was as bad. And from there, we're going to be able to go to the toaster. This boss is called Octo Oven. I like to call him the toaster. Toaster, toast, toast. Oh, here's a cool thing we can do here, actually. So it's just like you landed. Why'd you press restart? That doesn't make a lot of sense. So when I landed there, it registered that I was in the boss fight. And it also registered that I had seen the first cutscene when really I had just like entered the fade out and exited out. But since it registered like, oh hey, you watched this cutscene, next time you go back into it, you can skip it. So it's actually faster to just restart the stage after landing and then go back in so you can skip the cutscene. Like considerably faster. Like 20 seconds or something, because the cutscene's super, super long, yeah. But we're think about toaster here. We're getting bombs on top of the actual boss before it actually shoots out the bread that we can climb, so you get a little more damage on the tentacle. Just trying to optimize how much damage we can get onto that tentacle and keeping our ink tank full when we actually get up there so we can do the bomb throw. Here, Octo Oven sends out a glazing machine attack, and if you intentionally damage boost off of it, instead of letting the attack do like its full duration, it'll finish the attack a lot faster, about 10 seconds faster even, and overall speeds it up considerably. It speeds up this fight. How was that a bonk? Dang. I like it. I was just like, yeah. Splatoon 2 80%. This thing that I recorded a week ago. Yeah, that's my old 132 PB. Is like this 132.19 that I talked over, and now I'm realizing like, well, that's a minute slower. I need to do this again. Oh man. I don't want to talk over a run from April if I have a better one from September, you know, like, So Marie and Sheldon are giving us a bunch of text boxes here. Sheldon's supplying us with weapons. Marie's kind of guiding us through the game as we go search for Callie and DJ Octavio and the Great Zapfish, because it's basically the same plot as the first game, because I don't know what they were doing making hero mode in Splatoon 2, because they basically made it so similar to the first game for no great reason. And then they made Octo expansion, which is a really fantastic casual experience, but a pretty frustrating speedrun that I'm bad at. I'm not submitting it because I'm 8th in Octo expansion. I don't feel like I could represent well. Like 8th, that's not that good. It's okay, but like, compared to like 1st to 5th I have and all the other ones I want to submit, it's just no. But anyway, we're going into World 2. I was almost going to say World 4 because this is level 4. Don't get it mixed up. Level 4 is going to give us a new weapon, the Roller. Roller's pretty amazing in this game because not only does it have its usual horizontal flick, but it's got the vertical flick like that, which is pretty nice for making paths. Now obviously, I'd prefer almost any other weapon to the Roller besides the level 1 hero shot. But where you have to use the Roller, it's not that bad. The thing about getting so you notice how I got like a new weapon from Sheldon here. That's going to be happening a few times where it's just like a brand new weapon that you never used before. that activates something called Ghost Can Glitch. Now, I can explain how Ghost Can Glitch works, but it would take me forever. It's super long and technical. This was something that was data mined by Oatmeal Dome. And essentially what you need to know is that since I got a new weapon from Sheldon here, it remembers that weapon's special that it gets from multiplayer and it doesn't reset the flag. So when I finish the stage with the roller that I just got, it's gonna have a special bonus, like the 10 power egg special bonus for when you finish a stage with a special, and it's gonna give me that with this weapon without even actually like having a special. It's pretty weird. Oh, that's a mess up there. I gotta be honest, this run has some really strong parts, but it also has quite a few mistakes as well. You could tell it's kind of like an in the works progression in PB, because I'm going to get better at this category. I feel like I can honestly take record here, but I just need to practice more. I'm kind of only like about a week coming back into this category. But now I'm a minute and 10 seconds off record, so we're closer. But you'll notice I got 10 power eggs from like the special can there. That's the Ghost Can Glitch. It's a super long technical explanation of like triggers and flags, but that doesn't gotta be explained. It gave me more power eggs, and that's important for routing. Now we're going to be unlocking level 9 here, and coming back to it later. Level 9's a little faster to do with curling bombs if you can have curling bombs before you have to do another World 2 stage. And my route does that. This isn't my route, this is Hashtrice's route. Hashtrice is another top Splatoon runner who's 4th in this category, but the best runner of Octo expansion in the world. This Hashtrice is insane. And then there's the other top any percent runners. Thundy, who's generally the best at everything Splatoon 2 hero mode. Movefish, good at pretty much every any percent. Actually, he doesn't run OE that much, but Splatoon 1, Splatoon 2 any percent he's really good at. Banana, who's kind of a Splatoon 2 any percent specialist. And Hashtrice, which is just overall. Hashtrice is an absolute monster. But those are the 4 people I need to bop to get a record. Easier said than done. Got some stiff competition, but we'll make it work. We're going through level 8 here. It's had these ink furlers. I did like an ink furler boost on that one by like throwing a bomb and doing like a setup. Got trolled by that ink furler there. I'm trying to like grab a bunch of power eggs right now for later, but I'm not doing a great job of it. That whole ink furler boost earlier, I should have talked about it a bit, but I was rambling about something. That ink furler boost is done by like throwing a bomb and getting a little bit in front of like where those ink furlers are. The bomb will blow up and shoot the ink furlers forward, and you'll get caught as it's rolling forward. And like its whole spinning radius and whatnot. Little time saves. Now, we're going to be unlocking level 5 and level 6 here. And level 6 is going to introduce us to another weapon. This time, it's the Hero Charger. And the thing about the Hero Charger, it takes a long time to charge up a shot, but when you do fire this thing out, it's got a lot of range to it. And the range is super useful for some stages. Hitting all these long distance grapplings away from us is super simple. It's a breeze with a charger. Oh my gosh. It's like all these little subtleties. I don't have this mastered yet. I got so much to do in this category still. I can watch, now that I'm really taking a second and watching this run back, I'm noticing like all the small things that I messed up. Because there's a lot of small things I messed up that I'm already noticing. I'm gonna destroy this time so hard. Anyway. I picked up a Stingray special. We're gonna do probably the most known Splatoon trick that there is. Stingray skip. Stingray's got infinite range, right? So you shoot it at this fan over here to pull this platform over, then hit the grappling. Hit this grappling up here, and you're at the end of the stage instead of having to go through that whole final checkpoint section. Saves about 20 seconds. That's another trick that's so old. Splatoon 2 has some small new tricks, but it's not like Splatoon 1 with new massive skips. There's actually... That's not true. There's actually a new way to do level 6 that's about 30 seconds faster than what I did there. It's a PMB, platform momentum boost, about halfway through the stage. The only problem is that it's nearly frame perfect, and in any percent, you really only get one try. In NG+, you get 2. But in any percent, it's just 1. So it's really not worth it in full game right now until we get an actual setup. Because there's no real good setup for it right now. But that is what it is. This is level 5. We got a new weapon here. The hero dualies. Think about dualies. They can dodge roll. Dodge rolls are great for getting onto these grind rails and doing like tech on them. Tech on and off them. So they're super great for rail stages. And we're also going to be doing a nollie jump up this wall here, which is actually like a super consistent setup. It's just shoot the dualies to a certain spot on the windows there, and then jump. And then I'll be grabbing the Sardinium here. The Sardinium is a collectible that we need to upgrade weapons. You would usually just grab Sardinium after defeating bosses, but we need to have 2 for the curling bomb upgrade, and we haven't fought 2 bosses yet. So we need to pick up 1 in a stage to grab curling bombs right now. And that's just easily the fastest one that you can grab in a stage. Right now, I'm trying to get to 500 eggs. You may notice, oh, I'm only at 490. You don't have armor. You don't have a special. You're not going to have enough. Well, I haven't died in this stage yet, and I got a new weapon from Sheldon, meaning I have Ghost Can Glitch. So I am going to grab 10 eggs from that and finish up my egg route. Now that we understand why this glitch happens, it's not just some random thing. We can do so many clever things with the egg route, which is pretty cool. So from here, jumping back to World 1, we're going to go and grab the curling bomb upgrade. Curling bombs are going to ink a straight line forward when you use them incredibly quickly. They're fantastic for moving forward. And unlike Seekers, they bounce off a wall, so you can do like trick shots with them and whatnot. They're more versatile, faster to use. Don't have like the same startup delay and whatnot. It's just like, oh, they're so nice. That's one thing Splatoon 2 absolutely destroys Splatoon 1 on. The movement projectile. Nice boost off the bomb. The only problem with getting boosted off the bomb there when doing this route is that you can get your armor broken there. Now I'm really slow because I have my armor broken, but it also let me get ink back as well, so it works out. You can't really control what the Octolings and the Octoling stage are going to do. Should be explaining what the Octoling stage even is. So in an Octoling stage in this game, there's 8 mini Zapfish that you have to collect across the stage to get a normal full Zapfish. So we just have to go across the stage, grab all 8, and then I'll wrap it up. They end up being the fastest stages in the game. Even though we have to like kind of scatter and like take a bit of a weird route, it still ends up being the fastest. I unplugged my headphones. That's awesome. This is level 7. Level 7, you need to have curling bombs for. There's these giant squeegee enemies. They are lured towards bombs. So you want to be able to pull them forward or go in like whatever direction using bombs, and curling bombs actually go the distance that you want. So actually cooperating with giant squeegees, just having splat bombs is about a 30-second time loss. It's really bad and RNG heavy. It's extremely annoying. So this is the one stage in World 2 where you absolutely must have curling bombs no matter what. There is no debate on that. Curling bombs are just a requirement here. We're using them on top of those giant squeegees. I have like a whole setup there that tries to get ink back so you can throw a second curling bomb there because the ink tank is small in this category. And then we're gonna hop around to this lockbox, get around this giant squeegee, and make our way over to the end. This looks pretty solid overall. Some small things I've noticed that are kind of unoptimized, but I think I still got a 147 here, which is a really good any percent time. That's better than like what everyone else at the top gets, I'm pretty sure. Everyone goes for like 149s. But I just optimized with this one. So that's a good gold. And then we're going to be on our way to the second boss, Octo Samurai, which is a boss I personally took the time to optimize because even though any percent is not my main category, Banana had like a list of some strats that would probably help us make this more consistent, and I kind of just like routed out, okay, this is how flick timings are going to work. We're going to push the boss to the center, and I actually like tried to optimize like the 5 to 6 second RNG variants that you get here, and the 106 best to like 104 best, 1 second RNG. It's way better now. Way more reliable and consistent if you know how the flick timings work and like what does damage here. Because you're trying to get a bunch of damage with the roller in here. You're trying to make sure all of the ink particles of the roller are hitting Samurai when possible. And then getting close, you can do a single roller flick to deal with the tentacle. I got knocked back there because I was too close, but it is what it is. And then phase 2 Samurai, you're doing 7 flicks here. Getting it to ink, then pushing Samurai to middle, and it's like, oh, it's so clean, dude. So optimized. It's beautiful. Except I'm not getting these insta-kills in the tentacles, which is sloppy. Oh well. But the boss fights in any percent are generally very slow because we still have to watch a majority of the cutscenes. And there's really not much we can do about that. We can optimize the fight as much as we want, but almost 2 minutes of the split are spent in cutscene, so... But that's Octo Samurai. We're now gonna make sure to grab the Sardinium from boss 2, boss 3, but not boss 4, because we're gonna need 2 more Sardinium from the game to upgrade the hero shot at the end, which we'll need for Octavio. But there's 3 more bosses, so we need to make sure to skip one of the Sardinium we would get. Anyways, we're now heading on to World 3. Oh my god. My VOD. There were so many dropped frames. Bro. Disgusting. You better lower your bitrate next time, streamer. Oh, that's so incorrect. You want to go through this grate here, then do the vertical flick. I popped it too early and lost like 10 seconds for it. That is such a stupid time loss. I did that? Bro. You're joking. I did that. Oh my god. Oh, that's free time save. Alright, sweet. That's easy clap. That's so easy clap. Thanks for the time save, Smilers. This is level 11. It's got these Tentacook enemies. The Tentacooks have keys, but they also just try to run away from you and are generally super annoying. We hate these things. We need to grab these keys. So take out the Tentacooks, scare them with bomb setups to get them closer to you. Grab the keys that you need. We're gonna do a pretty modern trick here. It's called fence hop. There's gonna be a fence coming up over here that if you jump off of it, instead of doing like this whole section here, it's actually faster pathing wise. So you just jump off of it like so by keeping your swim speed and then jumping off the fence as you get on top of it. A little bit of a difficult strat, definitely more advanced, but worth it. Saves about 5 seconds. Then we'll be using a bomb setup here to take out this Tentacook, scaring it away from the bomb we threw, and then bring the key back to us. I'm pretty sure I missed this jump here as well. This is the mistake I really remember. I forgot about the whole roller flick thing, but I actually just missed this jump entirely. It's kind of precise here, but it's not something you want to lose because it's a pretty bad time loss when it happens. I got it that time though. I'm pretty sure when Tones did this back in 2018, a lot of these jumps weren't known about. Especially that one over the gap there. That trick feels like so old at this point, but yeah, I guess this category hasn't been shown off in like 4 years, so that's just what happens. The trick feels super old. It's like, yeah, this is new for GDQ, I suppose. Whatever. Bang. Taking that platform, getting the momentum boost off of it, and going to level 13. 13's gonna introduce us to another new weapon. Kind of a clunky one to use. Thankfully, we don't have to use it that much. It's the Splatling. It's another weapon that charges up like the Charger, except it's an automatic thing instead of a single blast, which is kind of clunky to use in hero mode because it's not great at like fast burst inking. It's more of like a charge it up slowly and get yourself a really nice path kind of weapon. Which isn't something we really like. I'd rather have a much more fast-paced weapon, but we gotta use the Splatling, so gotta make it work. I'm pretty sure I mess up here. Yeah, that path doesn't work, so I'm like, okay, I can't get up that corner, I have to go over here, and then shoot this fan again. It's just like, oh. A lot of time loss. It's not a I'm just showing off a run. Like, yeah, this is 5th place. Yeah, this is a minute 10 off record. But you're seeing all of these mistakes I make, you know? Like, think about this. When I get back to this, or like do more runs of this, 2 weeks later, I have a better PV of this. This stuff can all be cleaned up. Then I'll actually be in contention for record in this category. And that's what I want. That's what I want to do. This is just the start. The beginning. The before times. Because this category is pretty cool. I definitely love the weapon variety. Definitely makes it feel fresh compared to a lot of other categories across the series. Anyway. These grappling's pretty far away from us, but the Splatling's got a lot of range. Can make this all work. Oh, that time's so bad. You're looking for like a 139 or a 140 there, so a 144 is pretty bad. Next up is level 15. 15 is a bit of a disaster. Think about 15. It's another Octoling stage. We'll be going into this with dualies. It's just... you really can't afford to miss bombs here because the ink routing is so tight. So you have to be careful as you do this. If you miss a bomb, you're going to end up losing a ton of time. So this stage can be super annoying to do precisely. Tis what it is, though. Trying to dodge that toxic mist because it slows us down and doesn't let us recover ink as you go through it. So we need to recover ink to make our ink route work, so we gotta stay away from it. And then you can throw a bomb onto the Zapfish barrier, but the radius is big enough that it'll take out that toxic mist so we can start getting ink back for this one. That was pretty good. Oh, okay. The split agrees as well. That's not going to be fun to run against. 15's brutal. Oh. So, easily the biggest mistake I have in this run is in this stage. This is the one mistake that makes me really wonder how this PB'd. Because I lose 20 seconds here, I'm pretty sure. It's level 12. It's got a bunch of these bounce pads. If you hold B on a bounce pad, it'll get you a ton more height. I messed this up terribly here, though, at the ending. So that's like easily my biggest time save across the whole run. It's just like, yeah, I can save 20 seconds here in a stage I have the IL record for any percent, and I feel extremely comfortable with most of the time. So yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be grabbing those 20 seconds next time. Thank you. Going through these bounce pads, making sure the enemies right here don't shoot us with a bit of a setup. Going forward, using our curling bombs. There's this vertical section here coming up. This would be a lot better if we had dualies right now, but we don't. So we just have to fall down slowly. And then we're trying to dodge all of these barriers as we go through this section. Some people wondering like, oh, this has looked pretty good so far. How'd you lose 20 seconds? It's coming. Watch this. Oh, no, no, no. Ooh, he's dead. He's dead. Goodbye. Yeah, it sent me all the way back to this checkpoint. You just watch all of the time disappear right before me. Oh, it's painful. Oh, it's so painful. Yeah, that one hurts a lot. That one hurts a lot. Yeah, that's 22 seconds, including the gold as time loss as well. That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That's definitely the mistake to avoid next time, because, dude. Anyway, so that happened, but like, stuff happens in your PB runs. Sometimes you just gotta keep going, keep your mental good, keep chugging along. And we go into 10, we're gonna get another new weapon, and we're gonna frag out. We're gonna frag out, and we're gonna save that time. Because this time, it's the hero slusher. It's a paint bucket. Not much else to it. Mid-range, fires a nice path, a little slow to use. But overall, this thing's pretty nice. If it was this or level 1 hero shot, I'd take a slosher any day of the week. A slosher's pretty good at making nice paths on walls. It's just not that fast at like inking your feet, so it can be a little clunky to use in that regard. But overall, it does a very good job. Grabbing this key here for the lockbox at the end, throwing one slosh and doing it curl forward makes this a better path. It's those small things, those small subtleties. This may look scary, but it's actually pretty consistent with how I jump across that. And then right here, this is a local cycle with the Seeker down here, the Octo Seeker over there. So we're trying to go through this section in a certain way that this Octo Seeker is going to be at the spot we want, so we can just jump to the next part. Like so. If you mess up any of like the last 20 seconds there, you can lose a lot of time. That was really clean though. I feel like I really started to realize like, hey, I'm only -5 at this point. I gotta clean up, and then I actually did. Because that's a nice gold. Next, we'll be going into level 14. The parking garage. This one's kind of infamous for being difficult. Also, be able to get the show off car wash skip early on. It's about a 5-second saver with a damage boost in between an ink stick and the car getting washed by the ink sticks. That's why it's car wash skip. That's the thing. That's the name of the trick. No way. Yes, we'd be going through this early section, and we're getting in between ink stick and the car here, mashing B, and it'll shoot us upward, meaning we don't have to wait for the actual car to get washed and get over it. Saves about 5 seconds. And then from here, movement's pretty basic. Throwing curls forward on all these straight paths. Dodging the sniper. We're going to be using the store charge mechanic. You can like get a full charge and go into squid for a little bit and actually keep that full charge on you. And we use that there to take out the sniper. That's a new mechanic to Splatoon 2. It only really comes up there in a speedrunning sense, though. Just because I tried to make a bomb setup work there at 90% for so long, but without auto bombs are the other third bomb type. They're another 500 power eggs, but they only have like one application ever, so it's not worth it at 90%. But without auto bombs, we really just can't deal with that sniper faster. Anyway, this Octoling dodged the bomb setup that I made for it there, and I lost a lot of time here because of it. What are you going to do about it? Then from here, we're going to go to Octostomp, the reused boss from Splatoon 1. And that will be our World 3. World 3 overall is pretty brutal. Definitely one of the harder ones, if not the hardest world. It's actually, no, that's a lie. It's not the hardest world. That World 5 gets that title in any percent. Usually World 3 is the hardest world in this game. And like many Splatoon games, World 3 is always the worst. But in any percent, at least for hero mode, World 5 is brutal. Just because of the weapons we have to use. So we do our cutscene skip thing here. And then it's Octo Stomp. Back from Splatoon 1. And this time we got dualies to climb up the sides. Ends up being very convenient. There's like some subtle manipulation things we can do here when we throw a curling bomb forward. There's like a certain time to dodge roll based on like the line on your tank. Of like where the curl line is and like how you would have enough. So right as the ink passes the curl line, that's when you dodge roll forward and get the manip. I missed it though. So I had to wait for him to stomp down instead of like jumping away, which is what you want. Ooh, how did I not get knocked off there? Wow, what? Okay. Lucky. And then phase 3 gets a bit funky. A little funky fresh. This dude just grew 3 more faces. 2 more faces. Now what Marie says? This dude just grew 2 more faces. But yeah, we throw a curl forward there, get a little damage with our dualies, and then deal the rest right here. Nice and simple. And that is our Octo Stomp. Pretty simple fight, besides the phase 2 manip and everything, but that kind of just gets glossed over by most people. People don't really realize. It's just like, oh, this is kind of a sick time save. But that's our World 3. Overall, that World 3 was absolutely bad. Pretty terrible even. I lost like 40 seconds to the world record just in World 3 there. I don't want to talk about it. Okay, now we are going to World 4. Pretty cool, dude. We're going to be unlocking 16. And then jumping back here later, because we were already like close enough just to get bomb hits on it, and then going to 17. '17 is going to be another slosher stage. Lots of moving platforms on a global cycle here, so we're just trying to make cycles work. It's not the end of the world if you miss the cycles though, because it's not a big time loss. It's not like some stages where you're losing a ton of time. At most you're losing like 3 seconds because you dropped a cycle here. Not the end of the world. From here. Oof, I zoned out there. It's like, oh yeah, what's going on? We're a little bit further in the stage now. This is an Octo Stamp DX. Can't really do much about it except grab the key that's conveniently on top. And go to the lockbox at the end. And the platforms at the end here have been on a bit of a global cycle the whole time. So we're just trying to catch the right cycle. How did that work? Oh, I thought I would have fallen there. That's crazy, bro. Sometimes you gotta question, how did that work? How did you live that? That's pretty insane. I'd have to agree. Yeah, that is pretty insane. It's pretty wacky, pretty cuckoo crazy, bro. Anyway. This is level 16. The problem with level 16 is that it's basically impossible to practice. Because of that Sheldon request text right there, the cycle... Okay, what I should be saying is that there's local and global cycles in the stage. Because of the Sheldon request text box, when you do this in practice, when that Sheldon text is not there, the local and global cycles get mixed up. Like, they kind of just get shuffled into weird spots that you don't ever have to deal with in any percent. So, this stage is basically impossible to practice unless you make its own file, or you just have a lot of any percent no reset runs. But you also don't really need to once you've learned, like, how the movement works and how the balls work for fast cycle. But this can be an extremely annoying level to learn because of all that. Because we're trying to make that cycle with the platform there. And then we got giant octoballer. This thing's massive. Don't get hit by it. It'll send you very far to the side. Surprisingly, it does about the same amount of knockback as a normal baller, which makes absolutely no sense when you think about it, but whatever, man. Oh, 125, that's not bad. It's a nice fast cycle, starting to make some of my time back because the World 3 was pretty atrocious. The World 4 has got to clean up a bit, you know. Squeaky clean. Clean it up. Bro, all you have to do is jump there. It's not hard. Oh, I'm laughing at all these silly mistakes. I'm gonna clean all of this up. Anyway, those two bombs there, they unlocked 18. We'll be jumping back to it later. First things first, though. We're gonna go play 21. Well, it's 9 plus 10. 21? You stupid. No, I'm not. It's another mini Zapfish stage. And this time, it's on Moray Towers. If you know anything about Moray Towers, it's a very vertical stage. Great for the dualies and their dodge roll properties that send you down faster. Quite useful. I got my armor broken there. That's super slow. Oh, I almost got sniped. How did he live? This kid, dude. You can't keep getting away with this. What was that time? 50. Oh my, out of here. Get that out of here. That's just so bad. That's just so bad. Was this the run that I died going towards 20, or was that in practice? I think that was in practice. Yeah, that was in practice. Okay. This is level 20. Level 20, bit of a weird stage, a little odd, bit peculiar, because we're going to be using Umbrella. Think about the Umbrella. It's like a shotgun support kind of weapon. A little bit of a slow fire rate, but it also pops out like, you know, the end of an umbrella has like a shield thing that you can use for defense. The only problem about that, the umbrella shield, completely useless in a speedrun. Cool for multiplayer, but absolutely useless for us. The weapon's alright though. that's a missed bomb throw there. It wasn't a missed bomb throw, but I didn't get the enemy far enough forward, so now I gotta, like, lure it forward, hit the fan with a bomb, and I lose so much time here. Whatever, dude. Unfortunate. I tried to do the fast strat, and it came back to bite. We're using curls and their explosions to deal with the snipers and get paths. This is an invisible ink section, or invisible path section. You need to use your ink to reveal the path. But I have memorized where all of this is. Using the curl explosion here to hit this fan, do a little bit faster. And then we're going to throw a curling bomb over here so it'll actually hit the fan up over here and raise this platform. And the umbrella has enough range to hit the fan like so and finish the stage. That is such a bad time. That's nuts, man. I feel like so many of these golds I can just drop so much. There's so much potential. Anyway, we're going to be going into level 18 here. We opened this up a little earlier. The thing about level 18, this is a great time to read out donations and whatnot, because the stage is basically entirely an auto-scroller. There's gameplay for about the first 25 seconds, then it's like Rails section, Sniper Valley isn't that hard in this category, and then there's the 1 minute auto-scroller that you can't even argue about it being gameplay or not, it just isn't. So it's a great chill time, a nice... It's a little bit of a calm before the storm, because everything else past this point's pretty bad. Any percent after 18 becomes pretty brutal and challenging. Because level 19 is debatably one of the worst in the game. For some people, the worst. Shower's pretty bad with the slow charger. And then World 5, oh, World 5. But right here, we got Sniper Valley. I wonder why it's called that. It's almost like there's 4 snipers or something. That's crazy, bro. Cool story. Anyway, get to the end of it. Curling movement. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. This part right here, you get on this platform, and this is straight up an auto-scroller. So for the next minute, what are you gonna do? Like, there's enemies across here, but like, there's like nothing you can do about this. It's donations. Bang, 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 bang. It's like all of them. Read it right off. It's perfect. There's nothing to talk about here. It's like, oh man, I'm bored. I do some trick shots on these twinicles because I can snap my shots. Like, okay, you're pretty cool, dude. Yeah. That's awesome. Why is the Splat Discord freaking out with this gif I posted? But my cat being like, my man. Cute gif. Why did he get pinged into the Splatoon 1 channel? You tell me. Anyway, we're almost at the end of level 18 now. Make sure to not pull at tones and die at the end of the 1 minute auto scroller. Take the jump safe. It's for the best. It's just that simple. I mean, like, it's just that simple. Now, we're going to be going over to level 19. My worst enemy. This stage is so bad in this category. It's brutal. It's punishing. We have to do this with a new weapon. Probably the worst weapon that they put into hero mode. Because it doesn't ink, it doesn't do damage, it's just great for pretty much nothing. Incredibly slow. It's the blaster. Dude, it's the blaster. It's the blaster. We have to use the blaster for a stage, that's right. And why not just use the blaster on like one of the hardest and most technical stages where we could use literally any other weapon faster? Because blaster. Blaster, yeah. Anyway, the start of 19 has 3 different branching paths that we have to go and grab a key at the end of. The blaster does none of these well, but we have to use it. So you grab a key at the end, and you open up the box for one of these switches. I'm going to drop a bomb here, just so it grabs the switch without me actually looking at it. Small optimization. Hit the switches, go up these, throw the crow forward. Very cool, dude. You're awesome. Oh, yeah? Goodbye, Tentacook. Stop being annoying. Troll. Hit the switch up there. Then we're going to do something, a little bit of a setup here. So, we're going to take out these 3 enemies and throw a bomb down. This switch is rising up. It doesn't fully get it, but we do something called pause glitch. When a switch is partially inked, you can pause and unpause to have the game fill in the rest of the switch for you and activate it, which is a pretty nifty trick, and it's really useful right there because that actually lets us make the first cycle of that platform or like that switch rotating around, you know? We don't have to like wait for an extra amount. So it ends up saving quite a bit. Unoptimal kill of the enemy. Consider resetting. Okay, sounds good, man. This blaster here, that's one thing it's good for. It can hit both those switches at the same time. Of course, as I say that, I miss it, but you know. I try, dude. I try to make the blaster look maybe just a little bit better. Then you realize every time that it's the blaster. This weapon's so bad. It's so bad. One thing it is good for here, this end section with the giant squeegees that you have to ride, the blaster actually makes this pretty trivial. What you would have to do with other weapons, especially if you don't have like a great ink tank, is pretty complicated. So I'll give that to you, blaster. You make that section quite a bit better. That's it though. That's the only compliment you get. Blaster gets no other compliments. It doesn't deserve it. Anyways. Next up, it's gonna be the Octo Shower. And Octo Shower is kind of a hard boss in any percent. This requires you to have fairly good aim throughout. Don't really want to mess it up. Remember to do your cutscene skip here. The weird part about this, we've established in the Splatoon speedrunning community that Nintendo doesn't know how to program these single players. So for whatever weird reason, when you do the cutscene skip here, it's only supposed to let you skip the first cutscene, right? For whatever weird reason, it also lets you skip the third cutscene for showers specifically. Why the third cutscene and not the second? We don't know. It just is how it is. It's so jank. It's so messed up that it's actually kind of cool. The thing about shower here is that our charger is only fast enough to take out 3 of these copters at the same time. We can grab the 4th one as it does its shower attack going towards us. And then, yeah, skipping the 3rd cutscene there. Because why not? Why not for exclusively shower? No other boss. And that's it for our good friend the shower. After this, we're going to be going into World 5. A pretty brutal and challenging world. Usually, the next level, 23, is the one I excel on the most because I've put an unbelievable amount of time into this IL. And a lot of the strats from NG Plus translate over to any %. But I think I messed this up in PB. I think this was like one of my worst mistakes in World 5, which is really unfortunate because I love this stage, and messing it up in your PB, that sucks. But it's free time save for next run. That's free time save. It's just that easy. This will be extremely simple to run against, because like this is just like the easiest 10-second pickup of my life. Like all I gotta do is play a not even risky 23 and I get 10 seconds. Like, thank you. Making sure to ink these platforms. You probably noticed as we were going down into World 5, but this world is incredibly spacious, and all of the levels are super far apart from each other. They're all really separated. So the overworld movement that we have to do is really long in this category. The overworld for some of the levels is more tricky than the actual level. But this is 23. It's a rail stage. You do dodge rolls across all the rails, and there's like so many little subtle optimizations here. The only problem is that I messed this up quite badly, even because I messed up that roll timing, and that means, oh, I gotta go back and I gotta go up, and then I mess up the roll timing again. So it's just like, okay, well, I gotta go over here this time. My bad, I guess. Now, all like the little cycles that I'd usually go for, they're messed up at this point. There's not much I can do. So I just have to do the roll optimizations I want. I bonk into that pillar too. You're making a fool of yourself at this point, Ginger. Doing dodge rolls to get off the rail and onto the next rail is kind of the main theme here. You could also do dodge rolls on just like a flat rail to get a small speed boost forward. So doing dodge rolls across a flat rail like that is actually faster. Doesn't save that much time, but it's a frame saver. It's worth it. Doing a nollie jump there. Doing a lot of dodge roll boosting, getting around these ink sticks. Very cool. And there's a lot of subtle things here. Like on this next rail, if you do 3 rolls here, and specifically 3 rolls, you'll get a longer boost there as you're going across the checkpoint. It's like small tech. Small tech rules this stage. Then you dodge roll boost until you can hit the balloon at the end and use that to pop the zapfish. Oh, time's so bad. I'm ashamed to look at that, because I averaged there a 147 to 148 at any %, so a 156 in my PV, and it's just like, oh my god, dude, dude. Anyway, this is the 22 unlock. This is notorious for being extremely difficult. You charge up a charger shot here. The kettle here is extremely difficult to see on the actual capture card recording. It's a little easier on a monitor. But there's a kettle there. You jump off of the platform, you hit it with a charger shot, and then throw a bomb to deal the rest of the damage. And it does that whole unlock in one cycle, which saves about a minute to going to that stage normally, which is like, oh, so much time save. And now in 22, we get another new weapon, the Octo Brush. Brush is pretty sick. Bit of a short-ranged weapon, but it ends up being pretty fast overall. Going through these vertical sections, you can like bop the top of that rail starter with the brush just to instantly activate it. It's kind of just like a little boop, but it works. And then we're just managing incorrectly here, so this Tentacook can go off, and then it's mid-air when we kill it. And when the Tentacook is mid-air when we kill it, it drops a key at the last place that it actually was able to, which ends up being like right next to us on that platform. So that ends up saving quite a bit of time. Take out that shielded enemy by just grabbing some height on it, and then grabbing the rest of the enemies as you go. And then we're just using curls here, then a splat bomb to aggro this giant squeegee towards us, and then the curl rush that we picked up before that fight is going to let us get through this section here. I have a bit of a jank ending here because the small squeegee decided to not cooperate, but I make this jump work. Somehow, it was actually very close. And then finish up the stage, saving a lot of time because I got the unlock first try. Then from here, we'll be grabbing onto this UFO, inking up this section here because this is going to get us to the next level, 26. Get to this platform here and hit the switch. I'm making sure to like have a nice little path there inked. That's going to be really important for the jump I'm going to do to get to 25. So it's just really important you have that done in advance. Makes it a lot easier for you. You can do it without that stuff done in advance, but it's just hard. And then in 26, we have a roller again. Bit clunky here, especially with all like the moving platforms and global cycles, but do your best, make it work. Don't get hit by one of these ballers. The main thing here is that we pick up an Inkstorm at the start. You need to make sure to not die throughout this stage, because this Inkstorm is going to help us save a lot of time later. So dying in this stage was already slow because the checkpoints are spaced out, but you also lose your special and lose time because of that as well. So a death here is extremely costly. Just something to keep in mind. Doing vertical flicks here to give ourselves nice paths. And getting ourselves to the end. Well, not quite. This is kind of like the final section. Gotta get around all of these giant octoballs. And then we use the Inkstorm here to continuously hit that switch. Just keeps this platform out for an extended period of time. Then get to the Zapfish. Nice gold. And then next, we're going to 25. And since I got this little path in front of me inked, I'm going to be able to just swim down immediately and get onto this platform, this UFO. And this will just take me right to where the 25 kettle is. I can just unlock it with bombs. Pretty cool, dude. Think about 25. This is another global cycle stage with like a platform a little over halfway through. And we have a Splatling. Splatling is not known for being a very fast weapon for making cycles. So we're trying to use curls as much as possible to break those boxes like right there. Just so we don't have to rely on the Splatling as much. The curls are way more reliable. How do they have ink to throw a curl there? That's crazy. Anyway, shooting forward. Give yourself a nice path. You can grab these two switches. Pause glitch does not work that great on either of these. So just do what you can. And try to take out all of these enemies with a single Splatling volley. I missed it there though. This is really slow. I'm definitely not making fast cycle. Oh yeah, no chance. Still make partial fast. So as you're going up to this end platform here, this isn't actually the end, but I kind of refer to it as. You either want to get 2 parts of this inked to make the real fast cycle, but I wasn't quite fast enough for it. So I got 1 part of it inked and then just use that grate to get the rest, which loses a few seconds, but it's a lot better than waiting the full cycle. So it's worth it. We're trying to just make sure we have constant damage on this ink switch, and this is where that ink storm I picked up earlier really comes into play. Get lots of damage, and then jump forward. Solid 142. And then we're getting into probably, most people would call this the hardest stage in the game. And the thing about the hardest stage in the game, 24, is that it's even harder at any percent. So the hardest stage of the game and its hardest category, you know? Because 24 has got a lot of moving platform cycles, and they are brutally punishing if you miss them. You don't really want to miss stuff here. But we're going to hop in, and we're going to do our best. Because the thing about 24, this is a stage that would really benefit from having a charger right now. And you would use a charger in NG+, because the range is nice. The Slosher is a mid-ranged weapon. And we're going to have to make a lot of cycles that really benefit from having range. So this cycle right here, we're trying to line up a curl, slosh left, and then make sure we get like a right-facing jump there to barely get onto that platform. It's super close. And get forward there. And we got these sponge sections here. Taking out these enemies and then going forward. There's something here called Senko's Cycle. Going on the left side of this platform here to skip a platform cycle of rising and lowering. I missed it first time. It happens. It's about a 10-second time loss. It's not pretty. You try it again because you're stubborn like that, and then you make it work. And now we got this little cube here with switches on all the sides. So we're just going through that in a certain order, and we try to get all of these as fast as we can. There's only so much that the slosher can do. And that's our 24. Overall, really slow because I'm a Senko cycle. But it's okay. Now, we're going to go ahead and finish up our last normal stage with 27. It's our last Octoling stage as well. This one is a little complicated and like how all the little settlement ips work, but we're just trying to dodge Octolings here and get ink back constantly. This is something that's hard to like explain the technical side of, but there's like a lot of settlement ips here. I'm trying to get ink back through it. Because the main thing about this stage in any percent is that our ink tank is way too small for most of the stuff. So we're just trying to get ink back. Grab all the Zapfish as we go. Just one left. How did that miss? Okay, whatever. A little sloppy. A little sloppy of a finish. Oh well. Definitely got some pretty big money time save out of that World 5, but I can still improve it quite a bit. So before we go into Octavio here, we're going to first need to upgrade our hero shot. Now why do you got to do this? The thing about the level 1 hero shot, as you've probably seen throughout this run, it is just way too slow. To the point where in Octavio, it is too slow to get 2 fists at the same time to hit Octavio. So you need an upgrade. If you don't get this upgrade, it actually loses you about a minute because you can't hit back all of the fists that you would want to. So going all the way to World 1 and getting an upgrade is faster. Now, the unfortunate part is that this is Splatoon 2, not Splatoon 1. So Octavio is a complete RNG mess. And I'll explain after this scheduled 1-minute cutscene. Like, yeah, okay, dude. Not much I can say here. It's a cutscene. DJ Octavio has taken Callie with the Hypno Shades. What are we gonna do? That's crazy. Okay. Dude, we're almost playing the game. That's crazy. Okay. Coming up right away. Octavio is going to stop talking. And we're going to start getting the RNG on. And it's going to be awesome. Because we really love RNG in this house. See, I have the clever nickname of Talon Trodden Cheater. Because I get insanely good RNG here. And the only reasonable explanation for that, obviously, is that I cheat. Duh! I mean, that's just a given. The first two... Okay, let's explain. So, Octavio throws 2 different types of attacks here. Straight punches and spin punches. Straight punches, you can hit back. Spin punches, you can't. You need to get 8 different punches to advance to the next phase. There's 3 different phases where you have to do this. If you get enough spins in a phase, Octavio will throw out a shower attack. Shower attacks are super slow, and ideally, we're trying to avoid them at all costs. So you're trying to get a bunch of straight punches, and enough in each phase that you can dodge a shower in most of them. Phase 3 shower is practically unavoidable. Technically, the RNG is possible that you can skip it, but no one has ever rolled it before, so you're looking to get showers. At least you're looking to not get showers, at least in the first 2 phases. I believe in this run, I don't get the shower in phase 1, but I get one in 2 and 3. It is what it is. It progressively gets harder and harder to skip a shower attack as you go throughout the fight, because Octavia just throws them out earlier and earlier, so the RNG required is just harder to pull. That's cool, dude. Yeah. That's the double spin. We hate double spins. I find it interesting that if the Octavio's fist is inked enough in your color and it hits you, it just boops your snoot instead of breaking your armor. Which I find funny. He just pokes you. Pushes you back. It's like, boom, boom. It's like, okay, dude. Pretty good attack, yeah. So, I got a shower attack here. That's unfortunate, because the shower is really slow. But in phase 2, it's not that likely to avoid it. You can probably see how the level 2 hero shot is helping out at this point. Doing like those double fists. Like throw a bomb on the ground to get a little extra damage. Try doing that with the level 1 hero shot. Spoiler alert, you can't. So now we're in phase 3. Octavia starts dashing around and throwing out more single punches than before. I know, game changer. That's gonna make this fight way harder. Yeah. Pretty cool, dude. Good job, Octavio. Creative boss fight. Completely took away all the cool aspects that made this fight insane in Splatoon 1 and just made it RNG. Good job, Nintendo. You nailed it with this one. Out of the park. What are you gonna do, man? What are you gonna do? Lining up here for the shower. That's scheduled to get. I'm only on 5 punches instead of like 6 or 7. So it's average RNG. It's not anything special right now, but I got a double here, I'm pretty sure, which is fast. So that's cool, bro. That's crazy. Bang. So that's it for the serious RNG. Now there's just one final phase where we're going to get a Rainmaker from Sheldon and finish off the DJ. Pretty much no RNG here except for like some small differences. Manageable though. Get like these awesome cutscenes of the music and we're all vibing at this point. It's like this cutscenes and like the music, the atmosphere, everything about the Octavio fight is cool and all. But us speedrunners, we just hate it because Octavio is so RNG dependent. And there's nothing we can do to like manipulate this RNG or anything. It's based on the CPU ticks of the console. So, impossible to manipulate. Straight up impossible. Unless you're going to boot up your console on a certain frame and play frame perfectly into an Octavio fight and hit fist back frame perfectly. Like, yeah, okay, dude. That's Taz's job. That's just something you would do with Taz. So we're just hitting back fists from Octavio with the range of the Rainmaker. Which ends up just being like, the Rainmaker's got like its big old projectile attack. You're just trying to lead shots to make sure everything hits here. And then time is going to come up when Octavio gets slammed with the Rainmaker. And that's it for Splatoon any percent. Overall, I think this category is definitely interesting because of the variety of weapons and like scenarios that you have to deal with. It's just unfortunate that Octavio is complete RNG in this. So what are you going to do? You have some good stuff, you have some bad stuff. I think it's pretty interesting, and it's very different from when Tones did this back in 2018. But as this slams, that'll be it for me. Thanks for watching my submission, and have a nice day. Peace out.